Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It's Monday review time, and it's a review of another weekend without defeat for Steve Evans' men. Saturday, we went to the KCOM and took on the league leaders Hull City, and despite trailing to a goal from former Gills favourite Tom Eaves, we stayed in the game, rode our luck at times, and come away with a really well-earned point, courtesy of Ollie Lee's second half equaliser. So we're going to look back at that in more detail, and then we're going to look ahead to Wednesday night's 5:30 PM kickoff against Wigan Athletic, as we look to keep ourselves in contention at the top of the table towards the playoff zone. But first things first, that game at the weekend, Saturday 3 PM, Tigers are a good side, can't dispute that at all. Especially that attacking quartet that they had on the pitch at the weekend. Tom Eaves, Keane Lewis-Potter, Malik Wilks and George Honeyman. It was basically a case of if one of them was off the pace, one of the others was going to cause you a problem and be a threat. And I thought Tom Eaves, our former front man, was absolutely superb for an hour. Maybe he tired after that because he's not played a lot of football this season due to injuries and not being selected. But it was nice to see him playing well, in the sense that we know what a good player he is, but it wasn't so nice in the sense that he decided to do it against us. And I did just tweet in jest after the game and said I'm not talking to him anymore. But fair play to Tom. It was a good goal, a good finish. He bullied Jack Tucker for the first half half, didn't he? And despite that, though, we could have taken the lead. Massive chance for Verdane Oliver. Snapshot from Carl Dempsey. Verdane tried to turn it in, it hit the post and came out, unfortunately. And we could have led. And then who knows how the game may have panned out. But it didn't go in. Tom Eaves scored then from a Malik Wilks cross. Malik Wilks probably was kept more quiet than ideally liked by the Hull fans, but that's credit to our left back Tom O'Connor, who came in and done a really good job with Robbie Cundy out the side, Connor Ogilvie tucking in at centre half, and yeah, so we could have been in front. Then we trailed, and we were probably slightly lucky to not be 2-0 down at the break. There was one particular chance for Tom Eaves where George Honeyman drove through our midfield, put a ball into the 6-yard area, and Eaves' toe poke came off the base of the post and went out for a goal kick, thankfully, from our point of view. But you have to make your own luck, and what we did was we stayed in the game. We continued to work hard out of possession, continued to put our foot in, continued to win our headers and contest our battles, chuck our body in the line in front of everything, and managed to get in at the break, still only one behind. Second half, I thought we were better, but we still had to ride our luck a little bit. I think Keane Lewis-Potter will be disappointed with at least one of the two chances he had second period. He missed one with his head. I think the second one with his right foot was probably an easier chance. But we weren't without chances again ourselves, were we? There was plenty of good balls into good areas, deliveries from corners, deliveries from wide. I remember Matt Ingram having to come out and punch a lot of crosses that we were getting into the 6-yard box. And there was also an Alex McDonald drive that was deflected out for a corner. I can't remember whether that was the one that led to the goal, but it certainly wasn't that it was the Alamo and we were just sitting in and not actually offering an attacking threat at all. And yeah, we scored a decent equaliser. I think there's maybe a case for a push or climbing on our former Lone Star Alfie Jones from Jack Tucker, but at the end of the day, he's got up well and headed it back into the danger zone, and it's a really smart finish from Ollie Lee, who'd not been on too long. And at 1-1, I think it was an even game after that. I think both sides were trying to win it, which was great to watch. Hull are trying to extend their lead at the top of the table and trying to keep the chasing pack at bay, so to speak, and we're trying to gate crash the top 6 and keep ourselves in contention with the playoff. So great to see two sides, two honest teams going at it, hammer and tongs, right until the final whistle. I will say, though, that if Dominic Samuel's last-minute effort, literally the last kick of the game, had gone in off the post, I think it would have been very harsh on Grant McCann's men. But, you know, that's why we love football. Sometimes stuff happens that you don't deserve, and sometimes you play well and don't get what you deserve. But it was a really entertaining game, and for me, I think a draw was just about the fairest result. Hull say they've missed chances to win it, that's fair enough, but we can say that we've hit the post twice as well. I know the big moment just before the equaliser was Jacob Greaves somehow managing to hit the crossbar from literally a yard at the most. It was easier to score than it was to miss, and somehow he managed to head it across the bar, against the bar, so thankful for that. But a really good game and a really good point for Gillingham. Puts pressure on Hull now, doesn't it? Sunderland and Peterborough both picked up big wins at the weekend and are breathing down their necks, so it makes for an interesting end to the season. Right, that's enough about Saturday, though. Lots of fans were talking about us on social media. Let them. If they want to moan and whinge about how we play or how we perceive to play, if they can't counter it, good luck to them. That's not our fault. If you can't take your chances, it's not our fault. If you can't beat us, it's not our fault. Anyway, on to Wednesday evening when this team travel to Kent. Wigan Athletic will arrive in Kent in the midst of another turbulent season, battling relegation, trying to avoid the drop into the 4th tier. And administration problems have caused them issues all through the season, and it'll be a completely different team that we faced up at their place at the start of the season. Player turnover absolutely ridiculous and out of their hands to a degree, but they're still in there fighting. And aside from Wednesday night, I do hope that they stay up and can rebuild. But what I'm going to do is leave you in the hands of Barry Worthington. He runs the PWU podcast for Wigan Athletic on Twitter. You can find him there, and his Twitter handle is Latix Spake. That's Speyk. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right. I'm not Northern at the end of the day. But I'm going to leave you with Barry. He's got all the information that we need regarding Wigan Athletic.
Hi, Barry Worthington here, editor and producer of the Progress with Unity Wigan Athletic podcast. Looking forward to Wednesday's visit to the Priestfield, where we're going to take on the Gills in a League One fixture. You're doing rather well at the moment, and we're in the bottom 4, so you might consider this to be a little bit of a walkover. But hopefully it won't turn out that way. We've got 9 victories this season. 6 of those have come on the road. So we, as that suggests, we're a little bit better away from home than what we are at home. Is that down to the crowd going on the back of the players? Well, who knows? We're a demanding lot up here in Wigan. We've won away at Bristol Rovers, at Plymouth. We got a draw at Wimbledon, which we should have won, but we also suffered a defeat away at Accrington Stanley in our last 4 away days. We've suffered terribly this season from going into administration. It's a well-known fact that we went in on the 1st of July, saw our squad decimated, manager left, coaches left. Lots of people lost their jobs at the club, 150 people made redundant. We've been running not on a shoestring, we've been running on nothing. I think fresh air was the description used. We've been running on fresh air since September. Our turnover of players has been incredible. We played you back in September, and there's only 3 of those players left at the club. It's just... I can't even describe what this season's been like. I won't wish it on Bolton Wanderers supporters, never mind anything else. At the time we went into administration, I thought we were done. Couldn't see anybody coming in and rescuing a club in the situation that we were in with the pandemic on and no supporters. Luckily for us, that's happened. We've got a Bahraini consortium coming. It's going to be announced on Tuesday, I believe, and formally done. So that's going to give us a bit of a boost as well, just in time for the trip down to the Priestfield. Players at the Latics that you should look out for. Without doubt, Callum Lang, our striker, our main man at the moment. We've gone through a few strikers this season. Joe Garner, who left in October, went off to Cyprus. Kyle Joseph came in from the under-18s, made a cracking start to his career with the Latics, scored 7 goals and then suffered a serious back injury, so he's out for the season. We got Jamie Proctor in from Rotherham, scored on his debut but picked up an injury, so he missed the next 4 games, came back, scored again, then caught COVID. It's just been one of those seasons. Callum Lang's in at the moment. He's missed a couple of games through injury, but he's back in again now. So he's if you don't know what he's like, he's a direct player, likes running with the ball at his feet. He can score 25-yarders, and he can also knock them in with his arse from inside the 6-yard box. He's one of those. He's come through the ranks as well through the youth team, and he's fantastic, and we love him. And he's a proper club man as well. He's only 23 at the moment, so yeah, he's a player to watch out for. Lee Evans has come back in after being injured for most of the season. Fitness is telling with him, but he's getting fitter with every game. Quality midfield player, most definitely championship class. If we'd have had him in the squad all season, we wouldn't be in the bottom 4 now, but we've not. At the back, we've just got word that Scott Wooten, who we got on loan from Plymouth, he was missing on Saturday. We've been told, out for the season, so we're struggling with centre halves. We've got a young lad in from Feyenoord, George Johnston, came through the academy at Liverpool. He's a really good player, great prospect, and we're hoping that we can, once the takeover's done, we can actually sign him on a permanent. That's how highly rated he is. We've got a young left back, Luke Robinson, was captain of the under-18s last season. Fantastic player. Tom Pearce has got injured. He was our left back, and actually he was the player with the most assists this season. But we thought we'd struggle down there. But Robinson's come in and he's taken to it like a duck to water. You would never guess he was 18. He's absolutely superb. And we've got a young midfielder, attacking midfielder, like a number 10, I suppose you'd say, Tello Asgard, Norwegian international. He turned 18 on the 5th of February. Really good. So we've got a good midfield, but from what I've heard, you don't like to play through the midfield. You like to play over the top of it. So it's something we're going to have to be aware of. As for a prediction for the game, I think if I was a neutral, I'd definitely say it's a banker, this one. It's an home win. But obviously, I know a little bit about us. I know what we're going through at the moment. I know the spirit in the camp. And I know the good news that's coming this week. And I know our away form. And I think we're going to snatch a sneaky 1-1 with you. And I'll even name the scorers as John Akindi for yourselves and Callum Lang for us. As long as we score first, we'll get the draw. If you score first, then we could be in a bit of trouble. But I see it as a 1-1. I do hope you do well this season. And I love the smaller clubs like ourselves, pushing. Well, because that's what we are. We're a smaller club, just like Gillingham. And I love to see us pushing the big boys out the way. And we've punched way above our weight for 10, 15 years. And, it's the dream, isn't it? It's living the dream. We live the dream. Now we're living the nightmare. Hopefully we can rub our eyes and come out of this and, looking forward to next season, whatever division we may find ourselves in. And if it's in the same division as yourselves, well, hopefully we can make that trip down to Priestfield and meet up and share a pint together. So, best of luck for the rest of the season. I hope on Saturday the arse falls out of your team. Wednesday the arse falls out of your team and we get the 3 points. And I hope Steve Evans gets sent off and John Akindi trips up as he's taking a penalty and we do beat you. But I don't think it'll turn out that way. So I'm going for the 1 apiece. And like I said, best of luck for the rest of the season. Thank you very much.
Lots of brilliant stuff in there, Barry, and great news on the potential takeover coming this week. Just hope you don't get too much of a bounce if it is announced before the game at our place and you end up nicking the points. But great news for Wigan fans, great news for the football community that they look like they're going to be fine and the takeover is pretty much imminent. Looking at the form of the two sides, last 6, Gills have got 3 wins, a pair of draws and a solitary defeat. So we've taken 11 points from the last 18 on offer. Wigan, not too bad considering what they're going through. 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats. So 8 points from the last half dozen games. At the Priestfield, Gills had that wobble, didn't they? Late winter. Then they lost back-to-back games at home to Peterborough and Lincoln City. But since then, it's 4 without defeat. So it's 3 wins and a draw in the last 4. So it gives us 10 points from the last 18 available in ME7. Wigan on the road have been decent this season, relatively speaking, compared to their home form at least. It's where most of their wins have come. They picked up 7 points from the last 6 games. That's 2 wins, a draw and 3 defeats, but haven't won any of their last 2. Lots of injury problems that Barry spoke about. Lots of trust being put in kids, such as the problems with transfers and stuff like that. So out of necessity, they're having to play lots of prospects, which is great to see. And a lot of them are doing all right and are giving themselves a chance of staying up. And like I've already mentioned, I hope they do, but only after Wednesday, unfortunately, because we need the points as well. Callum Lang looks to be the jewel in the crown, doesn't he, at the moment at Wigan Athletic. 7 goals in 15 games, leading the line since returning from a loan spell in Scotland. I think he was with Motherwell, so he'll certainly be one to keep an eye on. And again, it's another game, I say it all the time, we're not going to be able to just turn up and think, oh, because we've gone to Hull at the weekend and drawn, we're going to just turn up and beat Wigan and claim the points simply. It's not that how it works, football. We're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to earn the right to implement our style on the game. I know Barry's mentioned they're shorter centre-halves, so it'd be interesting how we line up. But in terms of our team news, no Callum Slattery. No mention on James Morton, so has he gone back to Bristol City permanently? I'm not sure it's worked out at all, unfortunately, but we've got players back and available, and fingers crossed Robbie Cundy will be back and available for selection. So, based on all of that, my team for Wednesday evening would be completely unchanged from Saturday. I'd go with Jack Bonham in goal, Ryan Jackson, Jack Tucker, Connor Ogilvie and Tommy O'Connor as a back four. I thought that both Ryan Jackson and Tommy O'Connor were superb at the weekend. Both of them probably put in one of their best performances this season. Malik Wilkes barely got a kick up against Tom O'Connor. I know he was involved for the opening goal, but that was more an up and under and a bit of luck. And more to do with Tom Eaves bullying Jack Tucker in the middle. And I thought Ryan Jackson was really good. The other side, I can only remember Keane Lewis Potter getting in behind once or twice. He was a threat with his throw-ins. He got on the overlap and tried to get balls into the box, and both joined in with the play really well when they was able to. My midfield four would be Jordan Graham, Stuart O'Keefe, Carl Dempsey and Alex McDonald. And based on the fact that Wigan seem to be struggling for experienced centre-halves at the moment, I'd go with Verdane Oliver and John Akindi still up front and try and bully them. I know Oliver Lee's got a case for coming into 11 after his cameo at the weekend, but he's not a bad option on the bench still, is he? My bench would be Sacha Bastien, Robbie McKenzie, Robbie Cundy if fit, Matty Willock, Tyreek Johnson, Ollie Lee and Dominic Samuel. Right, big question as always. Score prediction. I have been on to Barry's podcast over the weekend and I've given my prediction on there and it's exactly the same now. I'm going to say a final score of Gillingham 3, Wigan 1. And I'm going to back Verdane Oliver, John Akindi and Jordan Graham to pinch our goals. And hopefully a win will see us level on points with 6th place as we play before everyone else this Easter weekend. Right, that is enough from me. I hope your Monday's not been too bad. We are back live 8 p.m. tonight for the Third Tier podcast. We have Kaz as a special guest, Bristol Rovers fan, coming on to talk us through all things gas, the trials and tribulations of being a Bristol Rovers fan at the moment in a tough season. I believe yours truly is hosting this week, so bear with me if I make any mistakes. Tom is entrusting me to host the show. I think Ben's back this week as well, which is great after a week away injured. I think he'd had his COVID vaccine last week and was feeling a bit under the weather, bless him. So yeah, looking forward to that again. Don't forget to keep checking out Fan Hub, download the app, look out for the golden ticket codes to let you skip the waiting list. Be back Wednesday for Match Day Live. The schedule's going to be slightly different this week. I will tweet out a schedule. I think it'll be this Monday review as normal, Wednesday Match Day Live, Saturday a review of the week, and then obviously Match Day Live again Easter Monday for the Blackpool game. Hope you enjoy your week. It is a short one, this one. We do have a long weekend to look forward to. Enjoy your day, and until next time, up the Gills.